Welcome to Level Up Tribes. Level Up Tribes provides resources to help you attain the necessary resources to level up your mind, body, and soul and realize your full potential. It is about exploring, learning, providing you with the tools from the experts for you to create a better version of yourself. I am your host, Agnes Goodwine, and welcome, Tribes.
Hi, Diya.
Yeah. Hi.
I'm so excited to have you on the Level Up Tribes podcast show today. You are my youngest person on the show. I'm super excited. Let me give you a proper introduction before we dive into your book. Diya Nath is 14 years old. She's a health advocate, researcher, entrepreneur, and innovator. Diya's mission is to change the world by creating and sharing unique healthy recipes and other mindfulness techniques. She loves to share her experiences and life lessons with others to help them become a better version of themselves, which I absolutely love because that's what Level Up Tribes is all about. And so welcome, Diya, to Level Up Tribes podcast. And so tell us a little bit. Yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Diya Nath, and I'm 14 years old, and I'm a sophomore in 10th grade at Arizona College Preparatory Erie campus. I love cooking. I love video games, obviously. I love to read and sing, and I love spreading positivity and good thoughts and inspiration to self-heal.
Yes.
And my love for smoothies was sparked when it was sparked by my love of cooking, and my love of cooking came from my mom, watching my mom cook from a very young age.
Yes.
And then she would let me do small things in the kitchen like crack eggs or stir like curries and soups. And then she would have me cut vegetables, and then I started to watch how she handled making these foods, and then I started to fall in love with watching different shows of cooking and desserts, and I started looking at smoothie recipes, and I fell in love with watching smoothie recipes when I was young, and I'd watched so many of them that there were no new ones left. The same ones kept popping up. So then I started to think about how I could make my own smoothies and how I could and then I started like taking those recipes and making my own recipes for smoothies.
And that's what inspired you to write The Healthy Habits for a Healthier You.
Partially, my love for smoothies had me write about my recipes. But something else that motivated me to write about myself and healthy habits was my own struggle with health from a young age. When I was young, around like 9, 10, 11 years old, it talks about this in the book. I had a BMI of 40, which is considered in the obese category. And I've tried different diets and exercise plans, and I could not bring my weight down. And so when I looked at how you could use smoothies for weight loss, I tried smoothies, and that really helped me bring my weight down, and helped me like bring my cravings down without really restricting my foods, because you can obviously still enjoy the unhealthy foods that you like, but smoothies, with so many fruits and veggies and nutrients, it really helped me bring my weight down. And I wanted to write about that and put my own smoothie recipes that I would usually use to drink.
Diya, did you start this journey like when was it? Like a year ago, 2 years ago? When did this come about?
It was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I was in love with smoothies so much that my mom told me, why don't you publish your smoothies? And I felt that, and at that time I was only going to publish just the smoothies, not the information I had.
Yes.
And then we weren't able to publish it in those 2 years because we were having a hard time finding publishers or being motivated to publish it. And during those 2 years, I did research on your gut health and how you eat impacts your gut health. And I'll talk about my research a little bit here. My aim for researching the gut health and the gut microbiome was actually my mom came up to me with a Science News magazine and asked me to read it. It talks about Parkinson's and gut bacteria. And it was very interesting because it talked about how people with Parkinson's had symptoms like digestive issues, like diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, constipation,
Yes.
long before they were even diagnosed. And then they talked about how the curling of gut bacteria, which affects how like their digestive issues, right? Because their gut bacteria is not healthy. And then they talk about how the gut bacteria that curl up, and I'll explain that in a second. They travel up the vagus nerve and cause neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. And basically the curling of gut bacteria, it's not a good thing because a lot of people are familiar with the concept of denaturing proteins. So proteins have a specific function determined by their specific structure. And if they lose their structure, then they lose their function. They become that way. It's called denaturing proteins. They become denatured through a pH or temperature change usually. So something like cooking eggs, then they lose their function, then they're not able to function properly. And that's kind of how curling of bacteria works. When bacteria are stressed, they're not able to operate at peak condition anymore, and then they curl up into a different structure that makes them lose their function and that makes them lose their good properties. And then that's why the curling of gut bacteria is bad, and that's why the stressing of the gut bacteria is bad, because it makes them curl up into these unhealthy forms. I was using proteins as an example to explain the misfolding of bacteria.
Yes.
So the misfolding / curling of bacteria causes problems like inflammation and could increase your chance or risk of Parkinson's, or it could cause digestive issues.
Yes.
And I talk about how I use medicines to test on these gut bacteria to see if they were affecting the gut bacteria. I used E.coli as my bacteria strain because it's a very common species of bacteria in the gut. And many people ask me why medicines, why not anything else?
Yes.
Because something I realized in medicines is that one common side effect between almost every medicine is digestive issues, which is what Parkinson's patients were experiencing.
Yes.
And so I tested different medicines on the E. coli and saw that the E. coli had the same stressing or curling form as gut bacteria as it was talking about in the Science News article.
Yes.
So that led me to write about my research and had me tie that into using smoothies to enhance gut health and boost your energy and keep your overall body healthy.
Yes. And I think you did an amazing job in explaining that in the book. And I want people that are listening to understand that you do come from a science background, right? That's what you're going to school for. So your own personal story, which is amazing because you took your own story, your own problems that you were having, and you implemented what you know from a science standpoint, and then you did your own research, which is absolutely amazing for a 14 years old kid to do this. I know that science now has said that our gut and our brain are connected. There's a connection there. So it's amazing how your study and your science project, because you did 2 science experiments for this.
Yeah.
You can talk about that a little bit if you want to.
Okay, so the first experiment I talked about a little bit earlier, which is testing the different medicines on E. coli.
Yeah.
And the other one I tested, it was in 8th grade actually. It was on C. elegans, which are transparent worm, like small microscopic worms.
Yes.
And I tested them because they have a specific TGF-beta gene pathway that is similar to humans, and that's why C. elegans um, are like something that is used for testing a lot in laboratories.
Okay.
And I tested, and they also, and I tested medicines on them too, the same medicines. And
Ibuprofen was one of them, right?
yes, I did. Yes, I did
Yeah.
try ibuprofen. The way so like how the E. coli curled up, it showed it was stressed. So the same thing with C. elegans, I measured body length instead of the curling. So the increase in body length showed the stress of the C. elegans,
Yeah.
while the stress of the E. coli showed curling. So I measured those according to like testing the different medicines
Yes.
and the different products. So that's basically my research.
How long did that take?
Mostly about it took me a few days
Oh,
to
that's
grow
it?
the E. coli strain, and it took me many days in the lab to collect the E. coli data and
Okay.
the C. elegans data the year before.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And for my own personal experience with medication and the gut, a few years ago, I don't know if you ever heard C. diff. It's a bacteria that you can
Yeah,
catch.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I caught that a few years ago because I was taking antibiotics, and that gave me C. diff. And
Oh.
so it killed all of my good bacteria. And it was actually a really horrible experience. I don't wish that on anyone. But it confirms what you say in the book and what you're saying right now, how important it is to have that balance, and how important it is to implement those smoothies in your daily lifestyle, because I do that, especially like post workout, and you can add like probiotics into your smoothies and stuff like that to help your gut. But I wanted to ask you about your mindset, because from a 14 years old and coming into this information and what you did with it, tell me about your mindset. Like, what are the things that you tell yourself on a daily that helps with your mindfulness?
So obviously a positive mindset is great. It and believing that you can do it really impacts your performance and how you solve your problem.
Yes.
So so I used to think, oh, I can't do that. This problem is unsolvable because because it's a very hard journey. I felt like it was impossible to solve the problem of my BMI, and that I think that negative mindset really played a role into whether the diet plans worked or not, because I didn't believe that I would get better. So I just didn't get better. And now I've gained a more positive mindset that so for example, yes, I'm good enough. I'm trying. I I deserve this. I know that I am this. I know who I am. Nobody can change me, or like look at the bright side, or I know I can do this. So those are some things that are really, really impactful to your mind and your mindset.
Yes.
And these are two quotes from my English teacher and a happiness and wellness coach. So my English teacher said, take control of your life. Take control of your life. And that really motivated me into solving my own problems and taking actions myself to solve my problems. And also the wellness coach said, no matter where I go, my quality of life will never change unless I change my thoughts or manage my mind's thoughts, because my mind follows me wherever I go. And that really moved me, because you need to, like, if you want to be happy, then you have to think happy. You have to surround yourself with happiness. You
Yes.
cannot say, I want to be happy, and then think negatively and sad and surround yourself with things that make you sad. So that's where taking control of your own life and managing your thoughts come in. So it's actions. You start thinking positively, and that's how you change your mind. And then your actions, you start looking for solutions that will help you, and then you start believing in those solutions
Yes.
and tell yourself that you're doing great, that you're trying, that you're good enough to be healthy, to feel better. So those are so that's how your mindset really impacts how you solve your problems or how you deal with your problems.
Oh, Dia, you just touched my heart.
Thank you.
Oh my God. You're just an amazing kid. And I know your mom because she was on the show last year.
Yeah.
She's an amazing woman. I can just imagine what an amazing mom she is.
Yeah.
I see a lot of her in you as you speak, but you're amazing. It sounds like you have some great people around you
Yeah, I
that are
do.
yes, that are coaching you, guiding you through this path that you're about to partake. Because I can only imagine, and I cannot wait to see you flourish in the next 10 years of where you're going to go in life. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So what has been like the feedback? I know you've been doing some interviews, and a lot of people have been purchasing your book. So what has been some of the feedback that you have received so far?
I've received lots of positive feedback, like
Good.
I really needed this, or I love these recipes, or this taught me to think more about my gut, which I was really moved by because that's a huge accomplishment. How teaching people or persuading people to think about their gut health because their gut health really impacts like their overall health. And
Yes.
so I think the feedback has been very positive lately.
What are some of your favorite smoothies?
I mark the water mango one as one
Yeah.
of my favorites. Actually, it is my favorite. And actually, this one is it's a variation of a smoothie recipe I saw on YouTube.
Okay.
So I forgot what her YouTube channel was, but I was very interested by the fact of watermelon and
Yeah,
mango.
I know. So that was your
Yes.
favorite.
Yes.
Mine is the almond milk with the peanut butter. I use chocolate protein and
Hmm.
the banana.
Yeah, I love the chocolate one too.
Yes.
I used to make it a lot.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so
So
much.
I understand that you started a juicing and smoothie club at your school. So how is that going? And I think you created also like a group that helps kids your age with like anxiety, meditation. Can you talk about that a little bit as well?
Sure. So I actually have not started the club itself yet,
Okay.
but I've had lots of big ideas
Yes.
for it, like educating people in the club. I already have like a few members, so
Okay,
some of my
good.
friends. So I'm thinking of first helping people like educate themselves on the like one fruit in one meeting. So every meeting I'll educate them on a fruit or vegetable or
Okay.
like a superfood, and then we could make smoothies, and this could be like a chill time because obviously many students these days are very stressed
Yes.
because of online school and because of lots of work. I myself am a sophomore. I've been very busy.
Yes.
So I feel like during my smoothie club we could drink smoothies. So
Oh, so you're gonna make the smoothies there, have them
yeah,
taste
make
it.
smoothies.
Okay.
And so
Can I come? Am I
yeah,
invited?
yes, anyone's invited.
Can I be
So
a tester? I'll be the tester.
sure. So my club time would usually be first talking about one healthy food and then making a smoothie with that healthy food. And then we would drink the smoothie and then spend the rest of the meeting time chatting and spending our time for ourselves
Yes.
as kind of like a regain your energy session, something like that. I'm thinking of starting that and then doing education on health and nutrition and smoothies during school events, especially during we have an international night event where people like set up their own booths, stuff about their culture, and
Okay.
I feel like I could educate people on like make a smoothie booth with the Smoothie Club and talk about nutrition and smoothie making. If we plan to go even further with the club, I
Yeah.
thought we could do like smoothie events for homeless people
Yes.
or people suffering from hunger or starvation. And I would love to share smoothies and my information with those types of people because they really need it.
Yes, absolutely. How did you implement your smoothies into your diet?
Yeah, I would do some meal replace for like breakfast smoothies. You would have some type of grain, like some oats maybe,
Yes.
or and then some liquid. I would choose like milk, or sometimes like if we had almond milk, I would use almond milk, and then a fruit, and then some superfood. Sometimes I would add vegetables, and I would drink that as a breakfast. I don't really know about lunch or dinner, but I would definitely recommend it for breakfast.
Right.
And if you choose to do the smoothie challenge, then you would have to have smoothies like for every meal, and that's actually very hard. I've done it before. It's a challenge of just drinking just only smoothies, only smoothies.
I wanted to ask you because you mentioned, and I don't want to give away too much of what's in the book because I really think people should
Yeah.
just go online and purchase it on Amazon.
Hmm.
But what I didn't realize is that I've been using the wrong blender. And you talk
Oh
about,
yeah.
yeah, and that's so important because you talk about in the book the different blenders that you tested the smoothies on.
Yeah.
So that's a little good tip. So if you want to know like what's the best blender, get the book.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
So in the future,
Yeah, like with the book, with your school, like what plans do you have
yeah.
like coming up?
I'm a sophomore right now, like I said, and I'm taking a lot of classes. I'm taking a lot of classes that's considered that people think I'm crazy. I'm taking 3 different sciences, and I'm taking Spanish, English, and math. So,
Okay. Habla español?
sí.
Qué
Well,
bueno.
yeah,
Not that good. Okay.
yeah, I'm not that good. I'm not very good. And then I definitely want to go to college. I am actually very excited for college because I get to live my own life and do what I want, study what I want.
Yeah.
And
Where are you going? Are you going to stay here in Arizona?
I don't think so.
Really?
I want to go to a really good culinary school. And
Really? Wait a
yeah,
minute. Wait a minute. So
yeah.
no, not a science school?
Um, okay, let me rephrase that. I want to be a culinary neurologist.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is that? What does that entail?
So using my studying the brain and how food affects the brain, and
Awesome.
how food affects hormone levels like
Oh my
serotonin
God,
and
yes.
dopamine. So serotonin and dopamine are like the feel good hormones or the happy hormones. They like release good hormones like that make you feel happier and more proud, more positive. And
Yeah.
I wanted to look at different foods that enhance those feelings to help combat anxiety and depression with
Okay.
positivity and foods that enhance positivity. And
Awesome.
looking into the the mind and body, and how like the brain and everything and the mind affects your body with food. And then I want to implement the culinary part of it by taking those foods and learning chef skills and making fine dining meals out of those foods. So it's a healthy fine dining meal using my research on on the mind and body and
Yes.
nutrition, and all the while using all the skills I learned in culinary school. So
That's beautiful.
that's what I want to do when I grow up.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Is that what, because I know you're working on something. I don't know if you want to talk about it on the show, but I know you mentioned Oxyblast.
Oh yeah, that will be that's I don't really want to reveal too much, but
Okay,
it's
just a little bit.
yeah, just a
A
little bit.
teaser, a teaser.
just it's just a fruit and vegetable product that you add to your food, or you can add it to non-edible things like your skincare routine. You add it as a face mask, because my product will be rich in flavonoids and antioxidants, which are
Okay.
very good for your skin and very good for fighting infection also. And it'll just be a nutrient boost additive, like
Okay.
additive. You can add it to whatever you want, and that's
Amazing.
that's all.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to add or discuss that we didn't touch on today?
Yes, actually, you asked me earlier about the small community I have where I help
Yeah.
people with their problems or talking about themselves, and that's actually I have an online Discord server. So on Discord, I people can join through Discord.com, and they can put in and then they can join the server and talk about themselves and talk about their opinions, their problems without judgment. So
Oh, love
they
that.
can vent out their emotions. They can talk about what they think about this or that, and
Yes.
without being judged. You know,
Oh, I love that, Dia. Is this mainly for teenagers or for any age group?
it can be for anybody. Anybody can join, and
Okay.
we promote. So when people approach us with a problem, we we don't really counsel people or
Okay.
solve their problems for them. Like I said, I'm a big advocate for self-healing.
Yes.
So we use breathing techniques and meditation to promote self-healing and taking charge of your own problems, which makes
Mm,
you stronger and makes you um and it like helps you more in the future when you have to deal with
yes.
more problems. So
Absolutely.
that's one thing I wanted to talk about. And in my book, in the back cover, it gives me my Discord username. So they can join my server by making a Discord account and messaging me. So there's a small, like, when you open Discord, there's a tab called Friends, and then you're able to send a a friend request by putting my username in, and my username is in the back cover of my book. And
Mm-hmm.
a very important note I would like to make is you have to put my username exactly as it is. All the spaces, all the capital letters, you'll have to put it exactly as it is. Otherwise, you will not find me. My username is capital S A K I, so capital S and then lowercase a k I, and then space hashtag 0046. And the
Okay.
hashtag 0046 is the Discord tag that you're given, and you have to put that in as well, so to find me. And it's very important that you put that exactly in there, otherwise you won't find me. And
Okay.
yeah, that's basically how they can reach out to me. And I
Okay.
also have my own website, diyasworld.com, and I have an email, business.diyasworld@gmail.com. So they can email me there
Yes.
or message me on Discord.
Oh, I love it, Diya.
Thank
You
you
are
so
an
much.
amazing soul. Amazing. Oh my God. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see how your life develops, as I mentioned before. We need young healers like you, and that's exactly what you are.
Thank
You're
you so
healing
much.
people through your smoothies, through your, meditation and everything that you speak of. That's what you're doing. And I hope that your group of friends are listening to you and following your footsteps, right?
Yeah.
So, real quick, top reasons for drinking smoothies.
Okay, so number one, okay, so you get to implement lots of fruits and veggies, more fruits and veggies into your smoothies and you can drink them. So it's easier to consume more healthy food into your diet by using smoothies.
Yes.
Number two, they're if you use the right ingredients, it's a powerhouse of nutrients and benefits. And number three, it helps your gut, like because the fruits and veggies are already blended, your stomach will not have to take extra effort into breaking down the fruits and veggies, which helps your body get the nutrients faster. And number four, if you add different smoothie like superfoods like protein powder, for example, those will give you extra benefits. And and smoothies are a great way to implement superfoods into your diet.
True.
And also, smoothies are very quick and easy to make.
Yes.
So all you need is a blender on hand and some liquid and fruits and veggies and maybe a superfood. So for people who are short on time, smoothies are very, very great for a quick meal, quick drink or snack if you want. And so they're quick, tasty, and easy and nutritious to make.
Well said. Well, thank you, my beloved. I can't wait again to see what all this comes about. The book is great. It's called Healthy Habits for a Healthier You. It's available on Amazon, also available in Kindle version as well. So there's two ways of getting that. Do you have a social media site?
I have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I don't think it's in the book, but it should be on my website. Instagram and Twitter username, all three usernames are DiyasWorld_1.
Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I can't wait for people to hear and get to know you and the wonderful things about the book, the experiment that you did, and all the data that you collected. There's graphs and charts in the book about it. So you did an amazing job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Please visit the website at www.leveluptribes.com. And please subscribe to the podcast and share with your family and friends. Be sure to tune in to our next episode. Catch you all next time, my beloved tribes.